You're such a cat. Oh, you're
She's such a cat.
You're a Henry cat. You're the Henriest cat.
Welcome everyone back to Rayman. You're such a cat, Henry.
Yes, he's such a cat. He's the Henriest cat I've ever seen. Henry.
My cats also have human names. I have Ramona and I have Tex Avery.
Oh, now, which one came first?
Tex Avery.
Okay. So is your third cat going to be Beezus?
What?
Ramona and Beezus.
I don't know who Bees is. That just sounds like a knockoff Jesus.
No, that's right. It came later. The year was 1223. Here is Beezus, ready to deliver us from some evil.
Beavis is the Walmart off-brand version of Jesus. Don't tell my wife; she'll get upset.
Man, you can read all about him in the Bible.
The Bible.
But no, there's those books, Ramona, like the Ramona books.
Well, it's Ramona Flowers. I don't know why I called her that. I think I was just really into Scott Pilgrim at the time, and the movie had just come out, and yeah.
No, it's they're children's books. It's there was a movie starring what's her name? Selena Gomez. I was about to say Selena Kyle, but I'm like, that's Catwoman. No, yeah. I think, is it Selena Gomez? Well, you don't even know who Ramona and Beezus is, so what am I asking you? Look.
I don't know.
I
don't know, David.
If you know what I'm talking about, write about it in the comments, unless I'm getting confused about Super Fudge or something. Look.
You could just Google it, you troglodyte.
But yeah, no, you remember the Fudge
David,
book.
wait 6 months for this to come out and then go check the comments section.
I will. You know I will. I love the comments section. I always go to it and I'm like, let's see, who's insulting me this time? Yeah, but you remember like the Fudge books, right? Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Super Fudge.
No.
There was a short-lived ABC Saturday morning series. No?
Judy Bloom. Yeah, Judy Bloom.
Judy Bloom. And then as you got older, you realized that Judy Bloom wrote some other fiction. Some adult fiction.
Some spank fiction. Oh, yeah.
There's a book called Wifey, and it's about a wife who cheats on her husband, and she describes how they have intercourse. It's really weird because it's not about fudge.
It was about fudge, but in more ways than one.
Yeah, it's about a different kind of fudge.
That's
true. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
He eats the turtle in the book. The kid eats the turtle, right?
I'm so glad you said turtle and not turd. I legit thought you were gonna go for turd there.
Like, if you had a little brother and he ate your pet, like, what do you do? Do you forgive him for that? Or are you like, you're insane?
Give him a medal.
God.
So, one time Stephen went to England and wacky hijinks ensued.
Did you eat a turtle in England?
You see, Dave, this whole time I've been listening to you thinking of a way to transition.
Right.
And I'm like, and let me tell you guys about the time Gareth and I ate a turtle, but that never happened. But, I went to England, and it was a story. I kind of want to start at the very beginning. I kind of want to tell it chronologically, Gareth, so I guess the first half will be me, and the second half can be you.
Sure.
Alright, so I'm in college, I have no money, and I recently got a job at Blockbuster, and I remember, like, the second ever Summer of Sonic was happening. It was, like, being announced, and I'm like, oh, I really want to go to that. And Gareth was like, we should film it, And we did eventually film it, and did that ever even go up?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because you know how we are.
Yeah.
Things don't always go up. But anyway, so I saved up $800, and I was like, awesome, I did it. And then I paid for my ticket, like, 2 or 3 months in advance, just because, I don't know, because I was excited. And I literally didn't even have like a bank account at the time. I just had nothing but cash, so I went to the airport and paid for my ticket and then went back home.
Oh, wow.
Really? I didn't know that part.
It's a good thing you're white.
Wait, why?
Nothing. Look, we already went past the racism in an earlier part. Let's continue.
All right. Well, anyways, so it's fast forward to days before, and I tell Gareth, yeah, I'll be coming between this day and this day. I think, which is not true, because I'd actually reserved an entire extra day when I went to buy the ticket months ago that I'd forgotten about.
Oh.
So I tell Gareth the wrong dates. I tell him the right day that I'm going to be there, just don't tell him the right day that I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And so it's about a couple nights before, and I'm a big procrastinator, so I haven't, like, prepared at all for the trip. So I stay up, like, the whole night, like, getting everything ready, and then I have to go to school the next day, so I've just been up all night, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, I have to do an assignment tonight, so I stay up another night.
Ooh.
So I've now had no sleep for 2 nights, and then I get on my plane, and it takes like a good 14 hours to get there, and then I get stuck in customs, because apparently when you go to another country, you're supposed to tell them the address of where you're staying, and Gareth never gave me his address.
Yeah, my bad. That's my fault. That's my bad.
So I got stuck in English customs for about 4 hours, and I told them, just call Gareth Spriggs. He's here at the airport waiting for me. And they apparently called out his name, but he never heard it on the intercom.
Yeah, so what I do when I'm waiting for things, I get bored easily, so there's a good chance they call my name, but I was listening to my iPod, so I just most likely did hear it.
Maybe they're like, we're looking for Sarah Bings? Sarah Bings!
So I'm like, I'm in England, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? They're gonna send me back, and I've spent $800 on nothing, and I'd only had $45 with me left. Like, that's all the money I had in my. That's literally all. I had only had $45 when I was in England, and the guy at customs was like, "Why the fuck would you come here for over a week with only $45?" He's like, he was really sketched out about it, so he wasn't letting me come in, and I'm like sitting there. And I'm thinking, oh, I have Carrie's contact. I'm gonna call her. So I make a collect call to Carrie, and it's like 3 a.m. back in Ohio, and she thank God she answered the phone, and I'm like, Carrie, what's Gareth's address? Do you know it? She's like, yeah, why? I'm like, I'm stuck in English customs. Like, do you have his phone number too? She's like, yeah. And she gives me all that, and then I rush it out to the people. I'm like, here's where I'm staying. Let me out. And they eventually let me out. And granted, I had been awake for 2 nights, and by the time I'm out of customs, it's like 9 a.m. So I still have a whole other day to go.
Oh, wow.
My favorite part about your customs trip is telling them about your wallet.
Oh, my wallet? Ugh. I have this weird Jacob's Ladder wallet that, like, if you open it one way, it opens, but if you open it a different way, it's like, it doesn't seem like it should be physically possible. And like, when the customs, they're pulling stuff out of my pockets, they pulled the wallet out, and I'm like, oh, whoa, let me show you something cool.
and
they were like, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
We don't have such wizardry in our country, so that was like fucking magic for the English.
Yeah. So I actually became, kind of friendly with the people behind customs.
Instead of calling you Harry and not Voldemort, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so around the time that I'm about to leave, Gareth is like, we're both getting ready for me to go, and Gareth is like looking at his he's like, let me look at the itinerary, and he's like, you fucking idiot, you're supposed to be here a whole extra day. He didn't even take like the time off for that extra day either. So naturally what he does is he goes to his parents and laughs his ass off and makes fun of them. And his parents made fun of me when we met again at his wedding. And I'm like, fuck off.
No, my favorite part about that was so you've been in England for about 5 or 6 days, and then you start getting messages from your parents
Yeah, this is about halfway through the trip. It's like, where are you?
What?
Because Steven didn't tell his parents he was leaving the country for. They thought he was still in Florida.
What?
And I remember because, dude, do you remember that was the day we were driving home from Entom's house
From Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember and then we went to was that the same night we went to that
We went to that club.
The phone party? Yes, I remember we got home and you had to, I think you had to like borrow my parents' phone to call Florida. And I remember after you'd spoken with your mother and sorted it out, she said, you'll be back when. I remember this because I was like, you didn't have to say anything at all, but I remember you pretended you were speaking to your girlfriend, not your mother. But for some reason, to you that made it better. Like, birds. Am I right, Frank? And it's like, what are you talking about?
What? No, I did not. That's I didn't say birds. That's an English thing.
No, you didn't say birds. No, but your thing was something like, oh man, just if you're gonna leave the country, make sure you tell your girlfriend. Am I right? And my father was just like, sure. Will you leave it again?
The reason why I didn't tell my parents is because I had only been at college for a year, and I didn't want them knowing that I was wasting my money going to other countries when I could have been using it for, textbooks and stuff like that. Because I knew they'd give me a bunch of shit for it.
Textbooks, food.
But as we all know, college is a scam, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah. College is the biggest...
You see the things I never found out.
My parents?
Yeah.
You didn't know you had parents? That's weird.
No, my dad pieced it together for himself. He like years after I'd gone to England, he approached me. He was like, "Did you go to England once?" And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I'm like, "Same reason I don't tell you anything, Dad, because you yell."
Oh man. Oh, it's like when I would go to New York all the time without telling my parents. I would just hop in the car and lie and be away for a week and be like, yeah, I'm just at a friend's house. Yeah, I'm helping him redecorate. Oh, I'm just at work. Really long time. I'll be back later. Yeah. Well, they didn't catch on unless they didn't tell me.
I remember, Gareth, driving on the way to your parents' house so I could use their phone. You were like, if we miss that party, man, if I don't get to make out with that girl, I'm gonna be so mad at you. And you did get to make out with her, Gareth.
I did. Everyone had a good night. Mission accomplished, my friend.
Not me, because you said that I wasn't allowed to wear the shoes that I brought into the club because they weren't nice enough. So you made me wear your shoes with 4 sizes too big for my feet, and I looked like a fucking clown.
So you didn't get to make out with anyone?
Who, me?
Yeah. What?
I had a girlfriend!
Oh, well then.
I think that was also the night, it was that terrible phone party where both of us were blind, walking home, and that was the night that became the inspiration for
Bentley Jones Adventure.
Bentley Jones Adventure, because we were drunk off our fucking faces, and we just reciting lines from SA1 and just adding the word and just replacing words with Bentley Jones,
which was hilarious at the time,
for fucking 2 hours, and no one else, because we stayed at one of my friends' houses, and no one else knew what the fuck Sonic Adventure was, or who Bentley Jones was, and we're just sitting there going look here, it says Bentley Jones can get in free at 4 in the morning, and no one else knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, God,
yeah, Bentley Jones is happening.
Gareth, but we took one of those double-decker buses to that club from a different bar. Oh, so you were parked a ways away, so we just walked all the way back to your car. But I remember here we are, 2 guys really drunk, covered in foam, and I'm wearing shoes 4 times too big for the size of my feet, and we're both laughing our asses off. One of them is not from this country, and we're walking by this cop, and he's just staring at us for a while. And I remember he's like starting to walk towards us, and I'm like, "It's okay, man. It's okay." And he took the bait. He took the "It's okay, man." I think he was afraid.
Oh shit! No, they're referencing Bentley Jones. Better leave these hardcore mofos alone.
Oh my god.
He's like, that you didn't see the part where he pulls out his phone. And he's like, "Hey, hey Lee, it's your dad. There's these guys who kept on talking about they were using your stage name. Did you become famous at some point? I thought you just did stuff for Sonic nerds." I'm like, oh, Dad, listen, I'm really big in Japan. Leave me alone.
Well, see, it's also funny because at the SOS the year previously, I had met Bentley Jones in the toilet and I had kind of scared him.
You opened up the stall. There he was.
Well, it's weird because, like, you know, I think back then he went by Lee Brotherton in the beginning. He didn't become. He didn't start using Bentley Jones until a little bit afterwards. But so he's Lee Brotherton, and all I really knew about Lee Brotherton, you know, because at that point all he had done was Silver Song in 06, Streams of an Absolution. So the only thing I knew about him was that apparently he was kind of a smaller guy and he had ginger hair. And so Summer of Sonic 2008 was this in like one room. It was a pretty small event, but it was still fun. So, you know, I go to use the restroom at some point, and then this kind of you know, smaller, skinny guy with ginger hair comes in, and after a moment, you know, like, you know, he nods, you know, smiles and all that shit. And I look at him for a little bit. And I just go, "Wait a minute, are you Lee Brotherton?" And he goes, "Yes." I just scream, "Holy crap!" And then we just stare at each other awkwardly for about 25 seconds before I just walk out the room. And so we didn't get on camera, but the next year when Stephen was here at SOS 09, we interviewed him. And before we got to it, you know, we were just talking to him behind us, you know, before we started filming and shit. And I was asking him, I was going to say that, "So, do you remember last year where you met someone and before I had even finished like explaining it, he just went, 'I told so many people about you.'" I was like, "Oh, good. I'm the fucking anecdote for a story that Lee Brotherton tells people about some fucking weird freak who scared him in a bathroom once. Hooray. It's my claim to fame."
Oh, such a sad claim. Whatever happened to Bentley Jones?
Died.
He released a bunch of songs in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese. Maybe we'd have to play them for Miwa, but from what I've read online, apparently his Japanese ain't that good.
Hey, they're in your language, Mila. You'll like them.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Are you?
Hello?
Hi.
Are you a fan of Bentley Jones? Is he really big in Japan?
Is he?
Yeah. Is he?
Is he?
Miwa, do you even know who we're talking about?
No.
Good.
And you didn't explain to me, so I have no context.
He's a singer. He sang a few Sonic songs, so I would assume that you know all of his work.
Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
Okay, Miwa, when I come to Japan next year, I will bring his album, and I will make you listen to it. Sound good?
Don't.
Right, because then you'll be stuck in customs for hours on end. She'll make sure you do.
How dare you bring this into our country?
Gareth, there's one part about the story that I forgot to tell. The first thing that I eat when we get there, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get some, you know, authentic, like, English food or whatever. He takes me to a fucking McDonald's.
Oh, man. Well, he knew
My friend Josh did the same thing to me when I went to Japan. So every country I've been to, I've had a McDonald's, and I hate that.
Well, you see, why would you hate that? I would love that. I want to know how McDonald's tastes around the world.
It tastes the fucking... It's actually worse in England.
It does. It tastes far worse. See, Stephen, you have to get acclimated to your new surroundings, so I introduce something familiar to you.
Oh, man. Because what McDonald's has, like, alcohol in it?
Probably Amsterdam, probably.
You leave it out long enough, it turns into alcohol. I don't know.
Ooh, it's been simmering. Oh, it's so good. I love it. No, because you know, depending where you go, I know, like, oh, a Big Mac's a Big Mac, but then there's also, like, region-specific menu items. And, like, I don't know, like, that sort of thing excites me. Going into a fast food place in an unfamiliar land, and being like, oh, yeah, it's
Start a
slightly
Kickstarter
different.
and do cycle across McDonald's.
Psycho across McDonald's.
Well, there are a
Just
lot
like
of, like,
in every just like in every Pokemon game, we cycle to the McDonald's.
well, you know, I've been to a few McDonald's. Like, I went to the, you know, the famous one in Times Square that's 2 levels. Like, that was a pretty neat one to go into, even though the dollar menu didn't exist there because it's fucking New York City. I
We went
there-
to one at Sonic Boom 2014. We were staying in Chinatown. And on the Sunday, because some call me Johnny stayed with us in our hotel room, and that morning we walked him to the train station, but first we stopped. I'm not sure if Steven was with us. I think it might have just been me, Johnny, and Jonathan.
I didn't even know who Johnny was when he stayed in our room. It's like, I don't know who this guy is.
My favorite story about our trip to Sonic Boom just involved Steven insulting a bunch of famous YouTubers along the way as well.
Oh yes, I insulted Cobra Money or whatever his name is.
Rip, R.I.P. Cobra Man.
I got a selfie with them and I posted it on Twitter. It says I don't watch your videos.
No. The comment was, "I hate your videos."
Oh right.
Yeah, he was like, "That's kind of uncalled for," which, to be fair, kind of is. But okay.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I have a drive-through story.
Oh.
My girlfriend wanted a milkshake. We were in the car, and so we pulled into McDonald's drive-thru, and I saw this was in England, and I saw they had one of those walls she took into, and I thought, uh-oh, this isn't going to work. because they cannot see me, so they don't know. Their ears aren't programmed. Even though I have to say strawberry milkshake, their ears aren't expecting an accent to come through that wall. So, and I'd already poured into it, so I couldn't go back. So,
You were committed?
yeah, so eventually the woman in the car behind me had to say what I wanted and to speak.
Meanwhile, whereabouts in England was that?
In London.
David, do you want to just go to every McDonald's so that McDonald's will finally follow you back on Twitter?
oh yeah, that's my dream. Oh man, I went to the Big Mac museum. I think I've said this before.
There's a museum?
Jesus fucking
it's a
where?
McDonald's. It's a McDonald's outside of Pittsburgh. It is the official Big Mac museum. McDonald's. You go in there, you can order some food, and then you can wander around. There's like a giant Big Mac statue sitting there. You can see all sorts of old packaging. You see the styrofoam. You're like, yeah, I remember when Big Macs were in styrofoam. Man, I wonder how many ozones we killed with those. You know, like, it's good times. I like it. It was pretty neat. And also, like, there were, you know, like the Big Mac toys. And, oh man, because the Big Mac was born in Pennsylvania. Although that isn't the McDonald's that the Big Mac was born in. That's a different one that nobody goes to.
All right.
It was fun, and like, yeah. I want to go around. I want to see all these cool McDonald's, and I can be like, yeah, give me a hamburger, please. I'd like one.
What a fucking waste of time.
We're not going to top that. Goodbye, everyone.